Right, before I show you the car, please promise not to laugh. So anyway, when we... Who's that?
Hello.
So anyway... Hi guys, so we are at one of Dale's Dub-Vag meets, which is a German car club meet. If you click on the link above, you can see the last time that I was here and the last time I filmed a video here. It was dry, whereas today it is nice and wet, but we're still getting some cars turned up. I was going to do a proper video, but I doubt I'll get outside in the rain much, and I doubt many cars will turn up because of the weather. Let me show you the weather. So we're in Dale's modified VW Passat. I'll do a video on this soon. I keep promising Dale that. This is a weather check. Weather! But yeah, not much to see here really. I'm just going to sit here in the passenger seat, I think, and film, if anything, from the inside out. Yesterday we collected our classic car, which I'll also be doing a reveal video on shortly. I'll probably do it in this video actually, because I don't think this is going to be much of a video, so this will be the intro probably to the classic video as well. But yeah, the idea was to get some footage from here today. Probably not going to, so we're going to the next part of the video. And as promised, here we are. I am in my new / very old classic car. Now let me just give you the story how I came about to own this car, and then I'll show you what the car actually is. So I've been looking for a classic car ever since I got rid of the Volvo. The reason for me getting rid of the Volvo was because it was quite a complicated project. Although it's going to be a future classic, it wasn't actually one at that moment in time, so it meant I couldn't take it to a lot of these old classic car shows, which your car usually has to be 1983 or older to get into. So yeah, I wanted a car I could take to more classic car shows, and I mean classic car shows. And also I wanted something unusual. I wanted an unusual classic car, but I was going down a sort of Morris Minor MG BGT / Austin Allegro sort of route, because they were sort of cheapish. So the other day I knew about a local auction that was taking place, a classic car auction, so I got a little bit of money together, I had a little cheap budget, and I headed down there with cash in my pocket and hoping to pick up something not reasonably cheap, something that was roadworthy but needed a bit of work. The car in particular I had my eye on that day was an MG GT, which was in my budget, and bodywork was a bit tatty, but it was roadworthy, it drove, blah blah blah, so it ticked all the boxes as such. But that ended up going out my budget, and so did everything else that day. But it was good to go along to an auction, a car auction at that, and see how they go, and what sells and what doesn't, and what goes over the estimated price and what doesn't. You know that I'm very impatient. If I want something, I want it like ASAP, just like what happened with my Spider. I saw it, I drove it, bought it the next day sort of thing. So yeah, I carried on looking that day, and then I found a website of a local classic car dealership literally like 5 minutes down the road. So it meant I was going to go and have a look to see what he had. He only had a few cars. One of them was actually one of them was actually like an 80s or 70s Datsun. That was one I was actually going to look for because it was in my price range. But being a JDM car, it had rust absolutely everywhere. The interior was fine. It was a nice boxy, long saloon shape. So I thought, yeah, that's quite cool. That's got the looks. But yeah, it just needed, the bodywork was all over bad. Whereas this car that I'm in now, that I ended up buying, yeah, the bodywork's shot on the outside, but this one runs better than the Datsun did, and this car's a hell of a lot older. Looking at both the Datsun and this car, I had never heard of this car make and model in my life, but probably because it's so old, and a lot of you guys that have been guessing the car over on my Instagram, if you haven't already then follow me on there, have been guessing Volvo Amazons, which would be a good guess, going from a Volvo to another Volvo possibly. People have been guessing the MGs, which again was actually in my budget and was in my thoughts as such. A lot of people going for Mini, because I did post a little sneaky photo of the front end, which I knew wouldn't give it away. But yeah, everyone's got it wrong, and I expected that because, like I say, I've never heard of this car before, and by even looking at the photo, I'd never know what it was. So I was a bit cheeky, but no one has guessed it until I tell you what it is now. First, just quickly, if you do follow my YouTube videos and channel and everything, and you subscribe to me, when I announced that I was going to sell the Volvo for a classic car, you probably would have noted the point that I said I do not want a project car. Well, I've sort of ended up with one, but like I said, the engine is spot on. Well, it is now, Dale's fixed it. The engine's spot on, the bodywork's not, but this car is so cool. The car is pretty much 80% mine. On the logbook, it is in my name. I have put money towards this. Dale's put a few hundred in. I've put quite a few hundred into this, buying this car. So it is mine and Dale's sort of project, as he's got the expertise and mechanical knowledge and electrical knowledge, for that matter, for fixing it. I'm just going. So far, I've been cleaning the inside, polishing up a little bit. So I've been doing a little, I'm going to say sexist comment, the girly jobs of cleaning the car up and stuff. But obviously, I want to be able to sort of put around in this car like Dale is, and yeah, that's another reason why I wanted an old classic, was so I could learn on such a basic engine. So if I do still go to mechanical college this year, I've got such a basic engine to work on and to learn from, really. So let me show you, and I'm gonna have to go out in the rain because it's still raining, and let me show you the outside. Right, before I show you the car, please promise not to laugh, as I'll explain why the hell I bought this thing. But let me introduce to you my 1956 Standard 10 Super. Right guys, I'm really sorry, it's just going to be a quick sort of overview of the car, as well, let me explain. As it is a bit of a project car, like I said, the engine's good, but the battery's a bit dodgy, so I wouldn't want to risk it and driving it to a better location and the car possibly setting on fire. Where it got delivered to on the driveway yesterday, and this is pretty much where it's going to stay until the engine's a bit more safer, as in the wiring's obviously 1950s, it's really old and dodgy wiring, so we need to get that sorted before we take it out anywhere. But let me explain why I bought this rat box. Such an old car, that means in the UK it's now tax exempt and MOT exempt, so I save a bit of money, especially with the tax side of things, because obviously I'm only going to use it once a week, if that. So while it's not on the road, all I'm doing is paying for insurance for it to be road legal as such. I've never seen one of these on the road, I've never heard of them, so I'm learning about the car and the make and model as we speak. It is a British made car, I know that. Standard 10 Super, this model is. Super basically means it's got a boot. Non-Super means you had to climb through the back seats to be able to put stuff in the boot. So we've got a luxury car here, guys. And the 10 stands for 10 horsepower. 1956 car, so only had, including us, 2 owners. So when we bought it, 1 owner from you, a guy owned it, sold it to someone in the trade who was a mechanic who apparently rebuilt the engine. So like I say, it's technically only had 1 owner. We've come along and bought it, so it's got 2 owners. So that is not bad for a 1956 car. Plus, some of the MGs I was looking at had about 12 owners. So to buy such an old car with such low ownership people is obviously a bonus. This is only a 948cc car, so super economical. It's got a new stainless steel exhaust system, and because it's so old, it doesn't need any of the silencer boxes, so it sounds lush. Let me just show you what some of the buttons do and stuff inside here. Briefly showing you the interior, all the door cards, all the interior is intact apart from the carpet, but I've just been delivered a brand new set of carpet for this car. I haven't shown you the roof lining, but basically I'll go through all this another day, show you what I'm actually talking about. Roof lining needs doing, seats are good, carpet needs doing. 66,000 miles I believe are original, and I believe that's correct mileage. However, I've got nothing to back it up, but I wouldn't have thought it would have done 166, even though it sort of looks like it has. It'll need a new steering wheel as this is broken. You got the indicator switch, such a basic car. These work, the fuel gauge doesn't. Look how cool this is, guys. If you want to, it has got a heater. It's new enough to have a heater. Hot, cold, it's all metal, all this sort of stuff here. But we can paint this up or something one day. Down here, it's got characteristics from a new car. You to start it, you put the key in the ignition, and then you literally pull that out with a bit of a choke, because it's old enough to have a choke. And what have we got here? Side. Oh yes, we've got the headlights. All these buttons you sort of pull out, and there's the heaters, and it's only got one setting for the little wipers. There's a tiny little interior mirror there. There's also another tiny one there. There should be one on the visors, but they're not. Let me just show you the skanky headlining, which isn't actually, it has got a few holes, but it is rusty. It is falling, so that is another job for us to do. Oh, and look at this really cool interior light. I just love these little things. This car is super ugly, but super cute in its own way. By no carpets, but the floor is actually pretty good. This gear stick, it sort of comes out, and well, it bends and then it comes out. I want to get little things like a new gear knob, like I said, new steering wheel. Oh, I must tell you something actually. Not only do all the big windows open, but it's got these quarter lights in the front and rear. So that's about 8 windows in total that open in this car. But I love these little things to open the quarter panels, and we've obviously got windy windows in the front and back. But let me just tell you, the whole bottom side of the car has holes in it. There's grey seals either side of the car. That's because they've been replaced, so that's good. Some of the panels here are a bit holy. The bonnet's rusty, the boot's rusty, but hopefully it's a surface rust. But the main issue is the passenger side. It says rust all along there. Panels, you can get some. They're quite expensive to buy, doors and panels as a whole, so we might just cut them out, weld new metal in. It might be the cheaper alternative, and yeah, quicker alternative too. Plans for this car, and yes, me and Dale have some. It's going to be like a cheap sort of turnaround. Like I said, it is sort of ready for the road. Electrics need doing, and the fuel sort of gauge sensor thing needs working, so we know how much fuel's in there. I've forgotten what I was saying. So yeah, the overall goal is to take to car shows as is. So it's an honest car. We're not going to paint it. I want to in the, I'll say near future, when I've got a bit more money, weddings out the way and all that sort of future stuff. But one day I'd like to get a full respray on it. I don't think that if you Google the standard 10 Super, I don't personally think, and Dale doesn't think either, these cars don't look nice all painted and pretty. I prefer this ratty, rusty look. So what we're going to do is wire away all the rust back and see if obviously the rust is actually bad rust and actually eating through the metalwork. If it is, then obviously we'll fix it where needed. But in the meantime, we're going to wire wheel all the surface rust back, like I say, see how bad it is. And then we're not going to paint it, we're going to leave it this faded green colour, because we think the ratted look, the rusty look's pretty cool. It's honest, it's original, you could say, to say the least. So we're going to leave it as it is, take it to car shows, and hopefully that'll get attention, because first, people aren't going to know what this car is. Well, they probably won't. And second, it'll hopefully get more people looking at the car, because they think, what the earth is that tatty little thing? But it works, and that's the main thing. Like I said, this car is 80% mine, 20% Dale's. He put a bit of money into it, so did I. But he's the one that's been fixing it, and he fixed a hell of a lot yesterday. I was cleaning all the interior, the door cards, the seats, which I'll put some before and after photos in now. I'm just going to grab Dale, probably sit him in the car, because like I say, it is raining, and I'm going to get him to talk to you about the problems that we initially found and the problems he's actually fixed, and it's quite a few, so the project's come along nicely so far. It's another day. You're so much taller than me, it's hard to get you in the thing. That's it, thank you. And I'm with Dale, who's my technical mechanic, electrician, auto electrician, and he's going to tell you about the stuff that he's fixed on the, I was going to call it Allegro, standard Super 10 so far. Dale was having a go at me because I didn't, what did I introduce you as? My mechanical auto electrician, aka my fiance. So anyway, when we, who's that?
Hello.
So anyway,
Hi.
who's that doing?
Dunno.
So anyway, when we got the car, the driver's window wasn't working. Obviously, they're all manual, windy. So what did you do to fix that?
Oh, took the doors apart. And,
Yeah, that's why the door cards are off. We'll show you, hang on a second. Dale took all the door cards off, and so we could also get to the window. What's that bit?
Well, that should be attached to the bottom of the window.
Which is why it
It's
isn't
all
going up and
Corroded
down.
itself off. And it's broken.
Yes, but some of the quarter lights were also stuck closed, weren't they?
Yeah, they've
So
been
Dale
unseized.
put some penetrating fluid on, and I think this window was stuck closed, wasn't
That
it?
was seized all in the window shuts.
Yes.
So.
So yeah, we've got most of the windows are working now. Apart from this one, the passenger one's alright, isn't it?
That works.
That works. That works. This one works.
That one doesn't work.
This one
That
doesn't.
No, that one's corroded and broken as well.
Oh right, so it's just this side then.
These two don't work, but these two work.
Okie dokie. Also, another thing was, also being a 1950s car, the mechanical side of things apparently have been done. Oh, we'll talk about that actually, because when we took it for a very brief test drive around the yard, it wasn't idling very well, was it?
No.
So, what did you do?
Set the air-fuel ratio up properly on the car, so it actually idles and revs when you want it to.
A lot better. So you tweaked the screw.
Pretty much. I fiddled with its screw.
And it was very good. That sounds weird. And yeah, it's working now, so it runs better. So yeah. A lot of the electrics on this car hadn't been tested. This is where obviously Dale comes in, because he was an auto electrician in a previous job. So basically we think the car needs rewiring with more up-to-date wires and electrical bits.
This is 62-year-old wire.
Wiring,
with
which is why...
rope bindings.
Which is probably why I could set fire any minute. But yeah, we're going to talk about lights and stuff, because the rear lights were working straight away, the rear indicators were working straight away, however the front end wasn't. This light was working.
That was temperamental.
That was temperamental, but sort of working. This one definitely wasn't.
No.
So you basically had to put another, what was it?
Positive grounding.
Positive ground. So then that one, those two, well, the top ones work. Now we're just trying to get the indicators to work, which Dale thinks he's trying to find a wiring for him. If not, then well, like we said, the whole car needs rewiring really, but, well, 3/4 of the lights are working, so that's another little job done, apart from the indicators that we need to have another look at. Talk about my bit that I've been started work on, the floor. So it hasn't got any carpet in, and this sill has been replaced with both sides, which is why it's grey. So yeah, this in this bag is a brand new carpet and underlay, so that means all this old underlay stuff will come off, or it is coming off easily. We'll maybe have to take it off the sound deadening. What I've been doing is I've started practicing, because I've never used any really tools before, so I've started taking away the surface rust with a wire wheel brush, and then where it is, well, when it isn't just surface rust, it goes a bit deeper, I've been taking it back to bare metal. But there's also bits, like, I don't know if you can see in there, there's a couple of screw holes, so see, when they've done this bit of the seal, obviously water's been getting in, hence why this little corner's going rusty. So I'm learning a lot about bodywork. So yeah, what I'll now do, or what I will do in the future, is get the big boy toy, get the grinder and the wire wheel, which will obviously cover more surface and get rid of some more of this surface rust, and then we can get the carpet in, and that'll be the floor bit sort of done. Pretty much where me and Dale are at with Project Standard 10 Super. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to me, follow me, and you can also follow Dale on his Instagram, which I'll put below him now. Let me know what you think of this car, because a lot of people didn't guess what it was. A lot of people didn't guess it was a Standard 10 Super. So do you think it's a quirky, little ugly, cute thing? And also let me know if you want more sort of project videos to happen in the near future, if you want to see us doing work to this thing, or whether you just want us to just update you when the work's been done. But yeah, thanks for watching. Laters.